My name is Akinwumi Ambode. I am contesting to be the next governor of our great state, Lagos. Education is the bedrock of the development of every society. As the son of a teacher, I hold this in high importance. Our government will continue the current schools renovation program statewide to improve the learning environment. Establish a billion meal scheme in all our public schools. Upgrade our schools and create e-libraries across the state. We will place great emphasis on technical and vocational education to fill the labor gap. We will make Lagos the envy of all.
Vote Akinwumi Ambode for Governor of Lagos State.
From the west to the east, the north, and to the south of our country, the APC with their governors have been busy building a better life for Nigerians. The APC has built thousands of kilometers of quality roads, miles of bridges and flyovers, tens of thousands of state-of-the-art classrooms from primary to high school to university level and beyond. The only states which have invested billions into independent power plants, which has improved the quality of life of Nigerians. Numerous affordable public housing projects have been developed across the country, thereby giving ordinary people the opportunity of owning their own homes. Our concern about the well-being of our people has seen us build many high-quality hospital facilities. We have invested billions into the development of the agricultural sector and created hundreds of thousands of sustainable and permanent jobs. Now, imagine what we could do when we are the federal government.
Vote for change! Vote APC! APC!
Hello there, and thank you for joining us on CoreTV Primetime News. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. In our major story, pro-election violence rears ugly head in Bauchi State as hoodlums again stone convoy of President Goodluck Jonathan and leave 6 security operatives hospitalized. Also in this program, 17 non-governmental organizations operating in northern Nigeria want the International Criminal Court to prosecute APC's presidential candidate Muhammadu Buhari over the 2011 post-election violence. APC describes PDP's stand on Muhammadu Buhari's certificate as laughable. And outside Nigeria, leaders of South Sudan's warring factions agreed to a political deal to end their year-old civil war. We'll begin tonight in Bauchi State, where the campaign train of President Goodluck Jonathan came under attack again on Thursday. Of course, previous attacks on his convoy had been reported at other states, including Kebbi, Kano, and Katsina, and further raising fears about possible outbreak of violence during the presidential election. A minister in the Jonathan administration was pelted with stones and sachets of pure water, while 6 operatives of the Department of State Services (DSS) were hospitalized following injuries they received at the rally, where the president was met with a hostile crowd wielding brooms and stones on the road and at the venue. The president had earlier visited the palace of the Emir of Bauchi, Rilwan Sulaiman Adamu, to pay homage. Hostility began as soon as he left the palace, as youths with brooms and posters of APC candidates began to antagonize him. As the president's motorcade entered the Ibrahim Babangida Square venue of the rally, the youth started throwing stones at the convoy. The rally had to be rushed to avoid further incidents, but the convoy was attacked again as it made to leave the venue. The National Orientation Agency wants Nigerians leading political parties to control their supporters in the run-up to the February elections. It says it's because of the rising wave of attacks and intimidation of political opponents in some parts of the country. The agency said in a statement that the recent spate of thuggery contravened the Abuja Accord on Nonviolence signed by all the presidential candidates. Director General of the agency, Michael Mary, specifically condemned the attack on the convoy of President Goodluck Jonathan in Katsina State. He also warned candidates and their supporters to engage in issue-based campaign rather than hate speeches. A campaign rally by presidential candidate of the APC, Muhammadu Buhari in Sokoto, was moved from the trade fair complex to the stadium following a bomb scare. CoreTV News gathered that at 5 a.m. on Thursday, a man on a motorcycle was seen making suspicious movements around the stadium, forcing agents to accost him. It was rumored that they discovered what looked like bombs on him, but the police have dismissed the report. The police spokesman in Sokoto State, Mustafa Sani, denied knowledge of any such incident and advised the people to go about their normal business. The trade fair complex was initially slated for the rally, but no explanations were given for the venue, for the change in venue, which must have fueled the rumor. Buhari slept in Gusau, Zamfara State on Wednesday ahead the rally. Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party has dismissed the statement of results of Muhammadu Buhari, which was released by Government College Katsina, as a forged document. It also demanded the arrest and prosecution of those behind the forgery. Spokesman for PDP's presidential campaign, Femi Fani-Kayode, said at a news conference in Abuja that the desperation to get power at all costs made APC and its presidential candidate to forge a school certificate result.
Our conclusion from all this is that the documents purportedly released by Government College Pilot Katsina, upon which the APC presidential candidate hopes to bury the doubt about his eligibility for next month's election, are forged, manipulated, and fraudulently procured. They are therefore untenable in fact and in law. We do not know who the authors and masterminds of this forgery are, but whoever they are, we urge them to come forward and be identified. If they fail to come forward voluntarily, we hereby call on the police and other security agencies to seek them out, find them, arrest them, interrogate them, and prosecute them in accordance with the laws of the land. We reiterate our call on General Buhari to submit himself to the police to answer charges of perjury, having lied on oath about his academic qualifications. This is what a man who claims to represent integrity and due process ought to do in this situation.
In a swift reaction to that, the All Progressives Congress says it will rather engage in the PDP campaign spokesman, Femi Fani-Kayode, on issues of good governance rather than respond to provocative statements. The party's campaign office said through its spokesman, Garbra Shehu, that it was laughable that the ruling party would not let go of a matter that has been laid to rest. He insisted that the APC and its candidate are in the presidential campaign to discuss issues that will improve the standard of living of Nigerians and ensure that they are properly secured. Shehu added that PDP is promoting distractions to provide a cover for the shortcomings of the Jonathan administration in the areas of security, employment, war against corruption, and infrastructure. Meanwhile, 17 non-governmental organizations operating in northern Nigeria now want the International Criminal Court to prosecute APC's presidential candidate Muhammadu Buhari over the 2011 post-election violence. The Northern Coalition for Democracy and Justice has secured the service of a Dutch law firm headed by Goran Sluter to file charges against the former head of state at The Hague. Members of the coalition and their lawyers say they have enough evidence to show that Buhari instigated the violence that led to the death of over 800 people.
These are members of a coalition of NGOs from northern Nigeria who insist they are out to protect the interests of the North. Led by a prominent activist, Umar Farouk, they claim they have proof of Buhari's role in the post-election violence of 2011. The coalition had previously made an attempt to compel ICC to dock the former head of state. Now they have secured the services of a lawyer practicing at The Hague.
The evidence collected to date strongly suggests that the highly inflammatory political comments made by General Buhari prior to, during, and immediately following the elections led directly to the deaths of over 800 people and the displacement of more than 65,000 individuals in April 2011. It was confirmed just 2 days ago that the International Criminal Court continues to conduct a preliminary examination into the violence in Nigeria. It is hoped that the prosecutor's office will also decide to take up the questions of the grave election-related crimes committed in 2011. And it is clearly in the interests of justice to do so.
Their mission startled a few people who walked out of the event, but the coalition maintained that they have a role to ensure that there is no repeat of the 2011 act. The leaders also insist that they are not on the payroll of any politician.
We are strongly convinced that it is in the interest of our dear country, Nigeria, that those responsible for the premeditated arson, killings, and destruction of properties must be brought to justice. There are ample video, audio, and documented evidence to support a prosecution against Muhammad Buhari, who incidentally is going into the presidential race again, once again, with an attendant mounting apprehension, particularly recent statement credited to him and some of his allies.
But now that the group is seeking the prosecution of the APC presidential candidate, will they also attempt to stop him from contesting on February 14?
This call is not in any way to stop General Buhari from contesting election. Even if he were prosecuted today, that wouldn't stop the election. What we are trying to avoid is scenario of the 2011. Probably because nothing happened since that time was why we are getting all these provocative remarks that are coming up here and there. So we are saying that now if he knew that actions are likely to be taken against him, tendencies are that he will mellow down and will not be making remarks that are capable of steering crisis after the election.
Members of the Northern Coalition for Democracy and Justice are convinced that they are on the right path and easily dismiss suggestions that their mission could trigger violence in the run-up to the polls. They insist there is no stopping them from ensuring justice for victims of the 2011 post-election violence at The Hague.
Find out why APC petitions the Inspector General of Police and Governor Ayo Fayose's death wish at Victoria after this time out. Stay with us.
From the west to the east, the north, and to the south of our country, the APC with their governors have been busy building a better life for Nigerians. The APC has built thousands of kilometers of quality roads, miles of bridges and flyovers, tens of thousands of state-of-the-art classrooms from primary to high school to university level and beyond. The only states which have invested billions into independent power plants, which has improved the quality of life of Nigerians. Numerous affordable public housing projects have been developed across the country, thereby giving ordinary people the opportunity of owning their own homes. Our concern about the well-being of our people has seen us build many high-quality hospital facilities. We have invested billions into the development of the agricultural sector and created hundreds of thousands of sustainable and permanent jobs. Now, imagine what we could do when we are the federal government.
Vote for change! Vote APC! APC! Change!
Your account is too low for this call.
Never get stranded with MTN Extra Time. You can now borrow airtime and pay back at your next recharge. Dial *606# now to enjoy the new MTN Extra Time.
MTN, everywhere you go.
I'm so happy every day because I'm healthy and strong. Playing, jumping, here I go. Scott's Emotion helps me grow.
A daily dose of Scott's Emotion, which combines omega-3, calcium, vitamins A and D, supports the healthy development of your child's brain and body. Scott's Emotion promotes active minds and strong immunity in growing children. New Scott's Orange Flavor Multivitamin Emotion.
Thanks for joining us again. You're on to CoreTV Primetime News. Here's a quick reminder of some of our major headlines. Pre-election violence rears ugly head in Bauchi State as hoodlums again stone convoy of President Goodluck Jonathan and leave 6 security operatives hospitalized. Seventeen non-governmental organizations operating in northern Nigeria want the International Criminal Court to prosecute APC's presidential candidate Muhammadu Buhari over the 2011 election violence. Moving on now on the news, you can also get all of our top stories on any of our social media platform. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/CoreTV News. At Twitter, and is at CoreTV News NG. And you can also watch us live on YouTube. It's youtube.com/CoreTV with the space and news. The All Progressives Congress has petitioned the Inspector General of Police, Sulaiman Abba, over what he described as a morbid advert sponsored by Governor Ayo Fauci of Ekiti State and published on the cover pages of 2 national dailies on January 19. In the petition signed by the Rivers State Governor and the Director General of the party's presidential campaign, Rotimi Amechi, APC said the manner its candidate was portrayed as a dead man walking was in bad state. According to the petition, the portrayal of Buhari is likely to die in office, just like past northern leaders such as Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, Sani Abacha, and Murtala Mohammed was reckless and irresponsible. It added that the political advert is also capable of undermining law and order in the country. The APC petition also drew the IG's attention to the fact that Fauci's advert violated the spirit and letter of the peace accord signed by all political parties and the presidential candidates. It therefore urged the police and all the security forces to investigate the origin of Fauci's advert and call him to order. Meanwhile, the verbal attack between the Ekiti government and the All Progressives Congress has taken a new dimension now, following an attack on the APC secretariat in the state. There had been an exchange of words between the two parties over alleged planned assassination of Muhammadu Buhari during a Saturday's presidential campaign visit to the state. Rashid has more on what is assuming a dangerous passion.
There is a concluded plan to physically attack our secretariat and other APC secretariat.
Barely 48 hours after this hint by the leadership of the APC, the Ajilosun State Secretariat of the party, according to the APC's publicity secretary in the state, Taiwo Latubosun, was attacked by yet to be identified people.
At about 8, we got a call, a distress call from our security agents, our security guard here, that some group of people inside e-logs and backed up with people in vigilante uniform and mask or no security officers and fully armed they came around and they started removing the posters, tearing the posters by our secretariat wall.
The state government, reacting through its Special Assistant on Information, Lanre Ogushi, says the attack was a grand design of the APC, a claim Olatubosun described as a face-saving measure.
Every time there is going to be an attack on an APC installation, they always know ahead of time. Because you will know that about 4 or 5 days ago they've been saying they will be attacked. So some of these things are simulated by APC.
Why should we destroy our posters? Why should we come and do that in the dead of night? Are we the one that off the street light of Ado Ekiti within this environment, within this neighborhood? Are we the one that has brought thoughts to come and do this? Why should we do that?
The attack and a recent death wish advertorial sponsored by Governor Ayodele Fayose may have led the APC in the state to conclude that the government is poised to assassinate Buhari.
The governor and his party has perfected plans to assassinate Buhari on Saturday. That is the plan of the governor to justify his projection that General Buhari will die.
What comes around goes around. Do you think the families of Ambrose Ali don't wish him dead? A lot of people have death wishes on Buhari. It's not my principle alone.
The action of Governor Fauci and PDP in Ekiti State is seriously undermining the peace agreement signed by President Goodluck Jonathan.
Political observers are anxiously awaiting the arrival of Buhari for his campaign mission in the state to see whether the APC's allegation will hold sway. Until then, the face-off between the two appears not ceasing anytime soon. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado Ekiti.
Meanwhile, the All Progressives Congress presidential campaign fundraising team says the federal government has shut down its fundraising activities on the National Telecommunications Network. Director of the fundraising team and Lagos State Governor Babatunde Fashola, while addressing journalists on the issue, claimed the federal government had issued a directive to the telecommunications service providers through the National Communications Commission to stop the dissemination of all political messages through their networks. He added that the decision to stop the party from raising funds from the public is a clear violation of the Peace Pact signed by all parties.
Apart from issuing that letter saying that telcos should not carry political messages on Tuesday afternoon, by yesterday afternoon, they have gone on and shut down the 35350 platform for sending text messages to contribute 100 naira. Now, this happened around 2:30 p.m. yesterday. Before that happened, when we left here on Tuesday afternoon, we were getting like 4 to 5 text messages per minute. Immediately we launched. And as at the time it was shut down, it's over 5,400 people had contributed. And immediately it stopped working. I was now getting text messages on my personal phone that this shortcode is not working again.
Well, meanwhile, the Lagos State Governor Babatunde Fashola has urged Lagosians to vote out bad governance and managers of the economy represented by the federal government. He also urged them to vote for a government that delivers on promises represented by the Buhari Osinbajo ticket at the federal level, and Akinwumi Ambode as governor of Lagos State. Fashola made the call at the campaign of the All Progressives Congress governorship candidate in Lagos, held at Ajeromi Felodun local government area of the state. Kazim Kasali was there and filed in this report presented from our studios.
The Lagos State Governor Babatunde Fashola on the campaign trail of the All Progressive Congress governorship candidate Akinwumi Ambode says Nigerians must rise up and be counted in the quest to change the government at the center by voting for Muhammadu Buhari. He added that the government has failed in its management of the economy and has also succeeded in taking away the advert revenue due to local government through the takeover of billboards nationwide, leading to the breaking of contracts and refusal of advertisers to pay local governments. Fashola did not spare the Lagos PDP governorship candidate Jimmy Agbaje for allegedly promising to cancel the Lekki 2 road and other employment-generating programs of the state government.
All the advertising on the Lagos road, whether it's federal road, whether it's state road, or whether it's local government road, advertising on it across Nigeria by the constitution belongs to the local government. What the federal government and the president's campaign team have done, they have removed all the advertising by Glo. They have removed all the advertising by Huawei. These are private companies in order to put the president's poster and campaign. So those companies have written to us to say they are cancelling the contract they have with us. So there is no money for local government.
With a host of Nollywood stars led by Remi Oshodi, also known as Surutu, endorsing the candidature of Ambode, as music blares away, the APC governorship candidate called on the people of Ajeromi, Ifelodun local government area, to vote for him.
From the time 1999 where we start with Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you know, so when it can't reach 2007, we can't give on to this my Oga, we be Governor Raji Fashola. You can't see all the things where you don't do for Ajegule and even for beyond. Me, I don't learn better from the two of them. And the thing where I can't learn, now I won't give una back for these next 4 years. I don't work for local government. I don't work for state government. What thing we want? Now continuity. The thing where Oga Fashola don't they do for the past 8 years. Now I won't continue.
He also promised to enhance the promotion of talents that abound in the local government, irrespective of religion or tribe.
Oyo State Governor Abiola Ajimobi has assured the people of Ibarakwa community of continued development to improve their standard of living. He gave the assurance at his campaign tour around the 3 local government areas in Ibarakwa and urged the people to reward his works in the community by voting en masse for him during the February elections. Omotayo Alo has the details.
Ajimobi took his second campaign bid to Ibarakwa, touring the 3 local government areas. Some of his supporters who joined him from Ibadan to Ibarakwa also accompanied the governor to palaces of some royal fathers in the community. The traditional rulers seized the opportunity to make some requests from governor before giving their royal blessings. After giving his positive response to the traditional rulers, Ajimobi took his campaign to several parts of Ibarakwa, where he addressed the people amidst distribution of freebies. For these Ibarakwa residents, Ajimobi has scored a pass mark in the area of security and education in the community.
Done a lot. By going to our school, there is a standard clinic, a standard one, which is well equipped with so many drugs, so many facilities. I think by our own perspective, seeing those things, we students of Oyo State College of Agriculture and Technology, we are going for Mr. Governor.
We know that there is a difference between the government of Ajimobi and other governors that will serve the Oyo State. The peace have been sustained in Oyo State, the medical service, the issue of ESO, make some youth don't to be a jobless youth.
The governor, who addressed the people in the Yoruba dialect, pledges to do more if voted for the second term.
Tapa, Idiri, Botaski, Koshishe, Ijoba wa àti parí ẹ̀ oṣù tó ń bọ̀ á ṣí. Ní ìgangan wọn ò ní omi bí. Àti ní iwájú yìí ni mo ti ń sọ àti àpúrúfù ìgangan water works.
The campaign in Ibarakwa is the second exercise in Ajimobi's bid for a second term in office.
Nigeria is to recall troops currently involved in peacekeeping missions abroad to boost its counterinsurgency operations in the northeast. Coordinator of the National Information Center, Michael Murray, says the decision was taken at the regional security meeting in Niamey, Niger Republic. Omeri also said at the security briefing in Abuja that security forces are still studying the latest video released by the Boko Haram leader Abubakar Shekau.
In the face of the various challenges militating against the full operationalization of the multinational joint task force and its apparent collapse, a number of African countries converged in Niamey, Niger Republic, on January 20th, 2015, with the sole aim of seeking authorization from the UN Security Council through the African Union to set up, fund, and deploy a more effective multinational force to fight Boko Haram. While it is expected that this meeting would yield positive results, the Nigerian position at the meeting remains that the challenge of Boko Haram insurgency, though a Nigerian challenge, is a threat to regional and international peace and security, which requires the concerted action of Nigeria and friendly countries to combat. There is a need for a troop surge in operational areas, which may require recalling Nigerian troops from peacekeeping missions abroad to enhance the operational capabilities of the Nigerian military. Nigeria and her neighbors should improve on the effective management of their borders, while the Abuja Regional Intelligence Fusion Unit should collaborate with the Intelligence Coordination Center based in Chad in intelligence sharing.
France has assured the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission of onward support in its continuous efforts to curb economic and financial crimes in the country. The assurance was made during a visit by a French delegation led by the police attaché to the embassy in Nigeria, Eric Bonnichan, to the FCC headquarters in Abuja. Both parties used the occasion to wrap minds on the level of cooperation between the two countries and how it could be further strengthened in the area of investigation and prosecution. The French delegation also presented 8 laptops to the anti-graft agency.
The relationship clearly demonstrates that no one can commit any economic or financial crime from this country and right into France and think France will give such a person sanctuary from the law. We have partners there who will always liaise with and will make sure that such an individual is brought to law. In the same token, if somebody commits a crime in France and run to Nigeria, we're always here to liaise with them and ensure that such a person is properly brought to book.
Economic crime in France and come in Nigeria, or in Nigeria and go to France, will be prosecuted.
We'll take another break now and return with business, sport and other stories outside Nigeria. Don't go away.
Which person can you carry?
And we now for MTN
Catch Press. You see the look? Plenty people don't they win 10 million naira every week and 1 million naira every day. To win, just dial *170# for free and correct a who go to wait you. Whether that TV or generator or phone, you fit win all for free every day.
MTN, everywhere you go.
On business tonight, the Consumer Protection Council has reached an out-of-court settlement with the Nigerian Bottling Company Limited and Coca-Cola over a breach of the council's guidelines. The CPC had filed a suit at the Federal High Court of Abuja last year against the bottling companies over consumer complaint on short-filled canned drinks. The statement by the council's public relations officer, Ondaje Jago, said the two outfits have reaffirmed their commitment to product quality and consumer satisfaction after amicable resolution with the regulator. Ijagu noted that parties in the suit have agreed to withdraw all pending litigations in respect of the investigation. Decline in crude oil price may delay the exploration of 3 national deep water projects, the group managing director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation says. NNPC's GMD Joseph Dawa made this known at the ongoing seminar by the Offshore West Africa Conference in Lagos with the theme Managing West Africa's Major Projects. According to him, many companies have cash flow challenges due to crude oil price decline that have affected the capital expenditure. A number of deep water projects will suffer delays or outright cancellation, including one in Angola, 3 in Nigeria, and 1 in Ghana, focusing on the survival of projects and the economy of oil-producing countries. Reduce panic over declining crude oil price and paying more attention on how to maximize profits were also part of discussions. Despite the security challenges in Nigeria relating falling commodity prices and the lack of infrastructure, Africa still remains an attractive region for foreign investment. This was agreed among panelists at the World Economic Forum meeting in 2015. At the meeting, the CEO of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, Oscar Oyema, said the difficulty associated with traveling within the continent was a problem as it takes political will to change this. Other things discussed were absence of infrastructure that Africa needed. Collective leadership among African governments is necessary in order to move the continent forward. Panelists included South African President Jacob Zuma, Rwandan President Paul Kagame, Nigeria Stock Exchange Chief Executive Oscar Oyema, among others. Naira depreciated by 0.5% against the US dollar at the interbank foreign exchange market in spite of $173.6 million sale by the Central Bank of Nigeria. After trading on Wednesday, the local currency closed at 190 naira 10 kobo to a dollar compared to 189 naira 10 kobo per dollar the previous day. Data obtained from Financial Markets Dealer Quotations (FMDQ) indicated all of this. Well, meanwhile, the CBN on Wednesday offered a total of $200 million, but sold a total of $173.6 million to some deposit money banks at the rate of 168 naira per dollar. Time now to join Sabena Izokwu for today's stock market report.
CoreTV News Stock Market Report is brought to you by MTN.
MTN, everywhere you go.
Hello there and welcome to the Stock Market Report segment with me, Sabena Izoku. The equities market on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange closed on a negative note once more as the Nigerian All Shares Index depreciated by 0.24% to close at 29,687.93 basis points. The market capitalization decreased in the same manner to close at 9.88 trillion naira. In all, a total volume of 410.5 million units of shares valued at 2.47 billion naira were exchanged in 4,030 deals. On the gainers side, West African Production Company of Nigeria topped the gainers chart to close at 82 naira with a difference of 1 naira gain, followed by Flour Mill, Union Deacon, Dangote Cement and Owando Oil. On the flip side, Mobil Oil topped the chart, trailed by Guinness, Presco, International Brews and Okumu Oil. Meanwhile, Mutual Benefits topped the traders chart, followed by First City Merchant Bank, First Bank of Nigeria Holdings, Axis Bank, and Continental Reinsurance. Just before we wrap up the stock market report, here's currency trade for today.
CoreTV News Stock Market Report is brought to you by MTN.
MTN, everywhere you go.
Outside Nigeria now, leaders of South Sudan's warring factions agreed to a political deal designed to boost efforts to end the year-old civil war. President Salva Kiir and rebel leader Riek Machar signed a pact in the northern Tanzania city of Arusha to bring together the rival camps of the ruling Sudan People's Liberation Movement. Fighting broke out in newly independent South Sudan in December 2013 when Kiir accused the sacked deputy Machar of attempting a coup. No overall death toll for the war has been kept, either by the government, rebels, or the United Nations, although the International Crisis Group says it estimates that at least 50,000 people have been killed.
Affirming our commitment with the SPLM family members to the reunification of the SPLM, driven by our patriotic will and determination to restore peace and stability in order to rebuild our war-torn country, the South Sudan.
By agreeing to reunite their party, they are making the peace process in Addis Ababa easier. This is because the crisis started in the party and it went in the country. So this is a very big step in the process of peacemaking.
Today we hope and believe will be the beginning of giving a new hope to the people of South Sudan. It is time the guns went silent. It is time you, as leaders, fulfilled the mandate that the people of South Sudan expected. They expected a better life. They expected stability. They expected prosperity and development. Not guns, not fear, not death.
Ousted Thai Premier Yingluck Shinawatra on Thursday attacked impeachment proceedings against her ahead of a crunch vote that could see her banned from politics for 5 years and deepen the country's bitter divide. Yingluck, the kingdom's first female premier and sister of former leader Thaksin Shinawatra, was stopped from office by a controversial court ruling shortly before the army staged a coup in May. She faces impeachment Friday by the junta-picked National Legislative Assembly over her administration's populist rice subsidy program, which funded cash to her rural base but cost billions of dollars and inspired protests that fueled her government. A successful impeachment needs 3/5 of the 220-strong assembly to vote in favor when they meet on
Today
Friday.
I'm ready to clarify the closed section. I will conclude all the details to my fellow people and to the members of the parliament. I will do my best to clarify all the details, so I hope that listeners will consider and decide with justice.
Sport is next after this commercial break. Stay with us.
From the west to the east, the north, and to the south of our country, the APC with their governors have been busy building a better life for Nigerians. The APC has built thousands of kilometers of quality roads, miles of bridges and flyovers, tens of thousands of state-of-the-art classrooms from primary to high school to university level and beyond. The only states which have invested billions into independent power plants, which has improved the quality of life of Nigerians. Numerous affordable public housing projects have been developed across the country, thereby giving ordinary people the opportunity of owning their own homes. Our concern about the well-being of our people has seen us build many high-quality hospital facilities. We have invested billions into the development of the agricultural sector and created hundreds of thousands of sustainable and permanent jobs. Now, imagine what we could do when we are the federal government.
Vote for change! Vote APC! APC! Change!
It's time to join Brownsy Unwana with updates from the world of sport.
Very big thanks for joining me on our Sport News tonight. I am Brownson Wana. The 2015 African Cup of Nations entered day 6 as teams in Group B slugged it out for a chance to be in the quarterfinals. Emmanuel Mayuka opened the scoreline for Zambia after a beautiful finish on the 59th minute before Ahmed Kachi shared the spoils as Tunisia held Zambia to a 1-1 draw. Tomorrow's fixture will see Ghana slug it out with Algeria, while South Africa will continue the redemption call when they take on Senegal. Nigeria's Golden Eaglets are expected to submit their magnetic resonance imaging MRI for their provisional squad for the forthcoming African Under-17 Championship by the month end. The Nigerian Under-17 are currently conducting the MRI scan for 40 players in this respect to determine the eligibility of the players for Niger 2015. Since the 2009 African Under-17 Championship, players are subjected to the MRI scan to determine if they are within the age allowed for the competition. Niger 2015 will begin on February 15 in Niamey. World champions Nigeria are drawn alongside hosts Niger, Zambia, and Guinea in Group A. Serena Williams reached the third round of the Australian Open with a straight set win over Russia's Vera Venerova. The 33-year-old top seed came through a tight first set to win 7-5-6 love as the temperature reached 33 Celsius in Melbourne. Two-time champion Victoria Azarenka defeated 8th seed Karolina Wozniacki 6-4, 6-2. Top seed Novak Djokovic trashed Andrei Kuznetsov 6-love, 6-1, 6-4, and defending champion Stan Wawrinka beat Mariusz Kopi 7-6, 7-4, 7-6, 7-4, 6-3. Finally, on Sport News tonight, in the world of Formula One Team Force Indian driver Germany's Nico Rosberg and Mexican Sergio Perez pulled back the cover of the car they hope will bring them success in the 2016 season in a museum of Mexico City. The Grand Prix returns to Mexico this year after an absence for more than 2 decades.
So to come back and do a race now in Formula One, it's just an amazing feeling that it's going to be very, very special. I'm sure it's going to be the best weekend, no matter what result I get. It's going to be the most special weekend throughout my career, something that I always dream about.
Obviously, we have developed the car. We have, hopefully made it faster, give it more grip, that we can go faster through the corners, and that way achieve better results.
Let us congratulate the return of Formula One to Mexico after a long gap of 23 years. And let us therefore launch our 2015 Formula One car here in Mexico in front of our existing and new Mexican partners.
And that's a wrap on Sport News tonight. A very big thanks for watching. I am Brownson Owana.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website, www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime News.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
To wind CoreTV Primetime News tonight, a recap of our major stars. We told you that pre-election violence reared its ugly head in Bauchi State as hoodlums again stoned the convoy of President Goodluck Jonathan, leaving 6 security operatives hospitalized in Bauchi State. We also reported that 17 non-governmental organizations operating in northern Nigeria want the International Criminal Court to prosecute APC's presidential candidate Muhammadu Buhari over the 2011 post-election violence. Lastly, the APC has described PDP's stamp on Muhammadu Buhari's certificate as laughable. And that's been the show tonight. On behalf of the production crew, I am Nifemi Oguntoye. Thanks for being there.